Hi, I'm Roland Johns. I am sim racing.
I'm Wes Fuller, driver number 35, stand up to cancer forward. I am sim racing.
Hi, I'm Cameron Peterson. I am sim racing.
What's going on? It's Rob Biotti from 4i Racing, driver number 44 Toyota Camry, and I am sim racing.
Hello, I am Christopher Hamilton, and I am sim racing.
Hi, I'm Eric Andrews.
I am Sim Racing.
We are
Sim
Sim
Racing.
Racing.
It was super loud.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Valleydale Valleydale Meets 125. And tonight we are at the Gladiatorial Arena of Bristol. Oh man, struggle with that one. Bristol is a tough track for any car, and these 87s are going to be no joke out here. A lot of these guys are going to have a hard time. The wall is going to be their best friend for quite a while. The track, they're going to do their best to stay off the wall and stay out of each other's way, but it is short track racing, and it is Bristol. So prepared to see some cars smash into each other, see some guys hit the wall pretty hard, and some pretty good carnage out there because it's going to be some good short track driving. But before we get started and into the race, we have actually a quick message from Valleydale Meets. So we'll be right back with that message.
The music goes boom boom, the drummer goes boom boom, and everybody shouts hooray for Valleydale, hooray for Valleydale, hooray for Valleydale, hooray for Valleydale, all hail it's Valleydale.
I am completely embarrassed. I forgot to check on... Oh, hello. That's not right. There we go. I forgot to check on the audio for the video I just did. Man, and I spent the last minute trying to record that. That's a bummer. All right, well, it happens. It's an old commercial for Valleydale Meets. I thought it'd be funny to play it as they were, technically the official sponsor of this race back in the day. But hey, it happens. We all make mistakes. Well, everyone, welcome to the Vintage Cop series. We are this is also a benefit to Stand Up to Cancer series. So if anyone out there likes to donate to Stand Up to Cancer, please go ahead and do that. We have a link for Wes Fuller, one of our drivers, who has a donation link that will send you directly to Stand Up to Cancer, so you can donate to them. All proceeds go to Stand Up to Cancer. Nothing is taken out by any of the drivers or Wes himself. So we want to support good causes, and that's a cause that we all stand up to support. A lot of these guys have donated their own winnings to Stand Up to Cancer from multiple races that we've raced with Wes or affiliated with Stand Up to Cancer. So we do our best to help support a lot of our drivers, and everyone in the core series is pretty much family. And sometimes we we get into each other while we're driving, but when it comes into the whole idea of it, we're out here having fun and we're here to support each other. And so if you guys feel like you want to do that, go ahead and reach out and do that. We can definitely get you in contact with Wes and get you the link. But other than that, let's get to qualifying and talk about some of the drivers out there and see what they're doing out on the track. All right, looks like Terry Conda's just finished doing his lap. He ran a 15.957. That's going to throw him in third right now. Looks like Wes Fuller in front of him with a 15.616. Getting some more times clocking in. Joshua Billiter coming in third with a 15.762. We're still waiting on some of our heavy hitters out there. This is going to be Carl Handwerk. Looks like Nick Nickerson also holding back on his times. Bryson Clark, another fast driver in these 87s. And when it comes to short track driving, we have Willie Evernham out there. So definitely someone that's accustomed to short track racing and should be able to throw it on a good time. Nick Nickerson stealing away the first slot right now with a 15.500. Willie right behind him with a 15.626. Right on the bubble there. Eric Andrews coming in second with a 15.559. Wow, nice. All right, just waiting on a couple of the drivers. Let's go ahead and see who else is on the track. Brock Vera's out there, the number 94. Well, while we're talking about some of the drivers, we have the number 54 Randy Post running in his black and pink classic paint scheme. Bill Harkins in the number 11 Geezer Authentics. Shit show Authentics. Authentic paint scheme. Sorry for the language, people, but definitely a funny paint scheme. Bill, a great guy. Definitely love his personality, and generally just a great guy out there. And we have the number 32, Terry Condas. We saw him throw down on time. Let's see who else is out on the track. Bryson Clark in the number 73, Motorcraft Quality Parts. Beautiful paint scheme. Alan Castle. Oh, no. Had him for a second. There we go. Looks like Alan Castle just clicked out. Andrew Gunther running in the number 59, Wawa. And Anthony Keysweater in his classic lime, actually no, yellow and red paint scheme, number 34. Let's see if we can get Kevin Foster. There we go, and that TechNet Professional number 8. Kevin Foster, actually our winner from last night's Core Premier Series, another short track race that we were at, and it was with the super late models. Congratulations to Kevin again, and he also brought home the Mission Car Care. So hopefully he can bring TechNet Professional home for a back-to-back win if he's feeling up to it. So we'll see what happens out there. And it looks like Dylan McDonald running out there in the number 38 Pepsi and DuPont. Pretty awesome paint scheme. And Carl Handwerk also in the number 18. Sorry, not also. Carl Handwerk also out on the track in the number 18, racing that Core Racing Series paint scheme by Joker Graphics. Once again, I'd like to thank you, Josh Billiter, for making a lot of our paint schemes out here. We definitely appreciate the work you do, and you do good work. Looks like Carl cannot handle the corners. This is going to be an interesting race, to say the least. All right. Ooh. Everyone is a little nervous. Some people just sitting on the track. Other guys actually throwing down qualifying times. Let's take a look at who's up front. And looks like Nick Nickerson's going to be in P1, P2 going to Eric Andrews. So Nick Nickerson, Eric Andrews, Wesley Fuller, Willie Evernham, Brock Veras, Joshua Billiter, Dalton Drummonds, and Matt Crockett, Dylan McDonald, Terry Condas rounding out our top 10. And then right behind them we have Bill Harkins, Andrew Gunther, Alan Castle, CJ Winslow, Randy Post, Anthony Keysweater, Bryson Clark, and Kevin Foster. And so those guys from Randy Post all the way down to Kevin Foster, they're actually going to be holding off on their qualifying times. Oh, nope. Keysweater throwing down time with a beautiful 4 minutes and 19 seconds. Come on, Keysweater. Now you're just messing with me, man. All right. Looks like they have 4 minutes left on qualifying. There's not much to say other than let's see some racing. I'm ready for it. I'd like to thank our broadcast sponsors. That's going to be Critical Hit Bass Lures and Southern California's Nautilus Media Systems. Other than that, it's time to see some driving. I hope everyone is having a good Monday. I know I had a good Monday. A little bit of a rush day, but hey, it happens. Busy days are good days. It means work goes by fast. So let's go ahead and get some snacks, get some drinks. We got about little under 4 minutes before we are done with qualifying, and the green flag is going to come out. So if you guys want to go ahead and get up, stretch your legs, get you what you need to get, because get while you can. Hopefully we don't have too many cautions tonight. I won't lie to you, Bristol is a rough track for the best of drivers. So cautions probably will be a flying, but hey, it's going to be fun. So hopefully these guys can keep their tempers down, and they can keep their head in the game, and bring home a win. And when it comes to any one favorite to win this track, I honestly don't know. Bristol is a beast that a lot of people don't survive, and if they do, it's out of just determination and sheer luck of staying out on the track. These 87 cars are going to do decently well, I think. They don't have any aero downforce, but they really rely on mechanical and suspension really to kind of keep themselves on the track. Bristol does have a pretty high bank, so that should help out quite a bit. But without having the aero, we'll have to see how it pans out. We saw some of the more experienced drivers already kind of spinning it. That just might be the nature of the beast. They have to be very careful. Hopefully their tires will heat up a little bit, they get a little tacky, and then they'll stick to the track a little bit better. So maybe it's just going to be a couple laps. They have to take it easy, and once that grip gets going, they should be good. Looks like Carl Handwerk jumping up, knocking Eric Andrews down a slot, taking second away from him with a 15.550. So Nick Nickerson's still running the lead in the front. Oh, looks like Kevin Foster go ahead and throwing up a qualifying time with a 15.763, dropping him off in 8th place. Nice sweet spot, and right behind Joshua Billiter and right in front of Dalton Drummonds. And while we're waiting, let's actually hear that meets commercial with with audio. So let's see if it works this time.
The music goes zoom zoom, the drummer goes boom boom, and everybody shouts hooray for Valleydale, hooray for Valleydale, hooray for Valleydale, hooray for Valleydale. All hail it Valleydale, come on let's sing it loud, we'll show the world we're proud of Valleydale ham. It's the finest you can buy, this ham is sugar cured and hickory smoked just right until the wood smoke puts that zing in every bite. Valleydale sausage, Valleydale wiener, Valleydale bacon, sing, 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 Valleydale. The music goes boom boom, the drummer goes boom boom, and everybody shouts hooray for Valleydale, hooray for Valleydale, hooray for Valleydale, hooray for Valleydale. All hail it Valleydale.
Well, folks, there you have it. That was a Valleydale Meats commercial brought to you by by a very great artist there. Once again, hope everyone enjoys the joke. I think it's kind of cool to see old commercials like that. You know, kind of showing a little bit of a heritage and how I don't know how people conducted themselves back in the day. You know, can't forget the past. Always look to the future. And with that being said, we have 17 seconds till these guys hit the track and grid up. So let's do this. All right, folks, ladies and gentlemen, we have 19 cars on the track. Bristol is a fun run with 19 plus, actually, I'd say 15 plus cars on the track is going to be a very busy track for a lot of these guys, especially when the run stretches out. So if they can get a green flag run for more than 20 laps, we're going to see the field stretch out on everyone, and it's going to be tough. Bristol definitely is really close to a one-lane track. It's pretty tight. Looks like you could fit 3 wide around the corner, but you're not going to want to do that. A lot of that space is going to be taken up by people being swung up, tightening up, and kind of pushing to the outside. So we'll see how everyone drives out there. First 20 laps are going to be a telltale sign of what's going to happen on the track. Hopefully we maybe get one caution, just a small mistake, but other than that, I think these guys should be able to button it up and get her going on a green flag run, because we have 125 laps at Bristol, and these guys are doing about 15 seconds a lap, 15 to 16 seconds. So this is going to be very fast for these 87 cars. All right, and the pace car is off. Beautiful Jumbotron there. And you can already see right now this track is extremely bumpy. A lot of these cars are already bouncing about. That's definitely going to affect how well they handle. Bristol should have 2 to 3 pace laps before we get the green flag. We'll find out. All right, here we go. Pace car's off. And we are green, green, green for the Valleydale meets 125. Good run by Nick Nickerson taking the inside. Carl Handwerk having to stay on the outside. He's probably going to ride it out until he's able to get behind him. Coming into turn 3 and 4. Here we go. Side by side, Carl Handwerk, Nick Nickerson. Everyone else doing a good job staying with their lines. Back to the front of the pack. Carl has some speed on the outside, gets in front of Nick Nickerson, but are we going to have a rebuttal coming into turn 3 and 4? And it looks like Nick Nickerson is dropping off the pace. Carl Handwerk taking the lead. Eric Andrews and Wesley Fuller going toe-to-toe right now. Let's go ahead and stick with these guys. Wes Fuller still driving the outside. Eric having some speed on the inside, able to get ahead of him. These guys want to straighten the line out as fast as possible. They don't want to be going side by side in the beginning of the race. They want to get into a straight line, run it out, get that green flag, set themselves up for green flag pit, and really working their pace. Looks like Willie Evernham, pushing the outside. Wes doing a good job giving him the space. Definitely did not have to do that. Looks like CJ Winslow and a couple of the other drivers going by side out there. Looks like Bryson Clark, CJ Winslow, and then right behind them, Andrew Gunther and Joshua Billiter. Looks like Josh is going to go ahead and drop behind Andrew Gunther. CJ getting in front of Bryson Clark. Bryson Clark has some speed behind him. Looks like CJ choking up in that corner. Missed his braking point. And now that Bryson's on the inside of him, he's got to be very careful. Carries too much speed, it's going to send him into that wall. CJ swinging off that corner. And he's looking to the inside, trying to fall in behind Bryson, getting around Matt Crockett. Oh, and almost some contact there on the exit of turn 2. Crockett right behind CJ. Looks to the inside. CJ has speed, but I believe we're going to see a battle between Bryson Clark and Terry Condas right now. Both Ford drivers. Bryson Clark able to get around Terry Condas there. Hearing some bumping and banging in the back, but let's take a look at the front. Oh, and the caution is out. That was up in the front. Looks like Carl Handwerk caught up in that. Let's get over to our Critical Hit Bass Lures caution report and find out what happened. All right, here we go, folks. Locked on to Carl Handwerk in the number 18, coming up behind Eric Andrews. Willie slapping to the wall. Carl driving down to the inside of Eric Andrews. Oh, he is not open. Clips his backside, rotates Eric Andrews, and then lifts. Good call on him there in the sense of Good sportsmanship, not driving through and slowing up to let him get his spot back. And that, my folks, was a critical hit best source caution report. Now back to the live scene. Up in front, it looks like, nope, Carl did not give him back his spot. Eric's going to go ahead and take the position that he was given. Nick Nickerson in first, second going to Carl Handwerk, third to Willie Evernham, Wesley Fuller right behind him in the number 35. Brock Vera is also following up. Let's go run through these cars and their paint schemes. Take a moment to do that. Nick Nickerson running in the number 85 Miller Genuine Draft, all black and gold. Carl Handwerk once again in the core racing scheme, paint scheme, the number 18. Willie Evernham in his favorite beer of choice, Busch, racing that number 91. Randy Post in his black and pink 54. Dylan McDonald once again running that 38 Pepsi and DuPont. Kevin Foster running the number 8 TechNet Professional. Dalton Drummings running the National Guard number 4. Andrew Gunther in that Wawa number 59. Eric Andrews a little beaten up in that Coolidge machine, running the number 9. Bryson Clark in Motorcraft number 73. Matt Crockett running his number 10 Alpine Star. Looks like we have Wesley Fuller in the number 35 Stamp to Cancer. Terry Khanna's in that Citigo number 32. Anthony Keysweater in that all yellow number 34. CJ Winslow in the Domino's number 61. Oh man, that's making me hungry right now. Went over Bill Harkins in his Geezer Authentics number 11. Brock Ferris, the Oilers fan, in the number 94. And then Alan Castle in the White Claw Hard Seltzer. Oh man, I don't. Alan, you're gonna have to park that thing, man. Come on. I don't like White Claws. I just don't like the way they taste. I can't get into them. But that is going to be the field tonight. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I'll find you later. Lights are off, folks. That means we're getting for the restart. Getting ready for the restart. Gonna go to right along with Nick Nickerson on this restart too. Pace cars in. And we are green with a good start by Nick Nickerson up in front. Behind him, it looks like he has left the pack. It is him in the world. Can he go the distance? Willie Evernham trying to reel him back in. Kevin Foster also trying to do the same. Looks like we're going to see a battle break out between Dylan McDonald and Dalton Drummins. Dylan McDonald driving the outside line, having a little trouble there. Dalton going to find that opening. Oh, pulling back out of the way. Good call there by Drummins. Willie Evernham coming off that wall, getting close to Kevin Foster. He is bouncing off that wall left and right. Doesn't have much room either, so this is going to be tough for him. And Dalton Drummins driving down to the apron. Luckily, these guys, they rely on suspension, so it shouldn't de-wedge the car too bad. But definitely, I would not do that mid-turn. Kevin Foster able to get around Nick Nickerson, but can he seal the deal? Looks like Nick driving the outside line just a little too hard, having to just let off the gas. Kevin getting a great run off of him. And Dalton Drummins trying to run him back down. All right, folks, 100 laps to go. We were 25 in. We only had one caution at lap 20, or lap 19, 20-ish. That's not bad. Short track's usually rougher than that. Usually it's like every 5-10 laps you got an accident, but these guys are doing great out there. Make it 20 laps. I'm happy with that. And the caution is out. Speak of the devil, and he will arise. Looks like CJ Winslow was in the wall. Let's get over to a caution report and see what happened. All right, here we go, folks. Following along with CJ Winslow in the number 61. Looks like he's coming off of turn 3 there. Slaps the wall, pushes him, or turn 4, slaps the wall, sends himself into the bottom area. Like I said, it seems like it's a wide track, but any contact with the wall, there's no room for error there. All right, let's get back to the live scene. And we are back. All right, so the lineup now, Willie Evernham, Wesley Fuller, Andrew Gunther, Joshua Billiter, Terry Condas, and Bill Harkins in our top. Oh, let's keep going all the way down. Randy Post, Kevin Foster, and Dalton Drummonds, and Nick Nickerson sitting at our top 10. Let's go ahead and bring in a driver and talk to him a little bit, see how they're handling the track. All right, looks like we brought in the number 10, Matt Crockett, running in 12th place right now. Matt, how you doing out there?
Just cruising, just riding the middle lane right now, trying to save as much tires as I can.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of guys are having a little bit of trouble. You definitely find in the middle lane to be your most comfortable spot?
Yeah, after the tires wear a little bit, it kind of pushes up hard coming out of the corner, so kind of like the middle right now.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Do you think, I guess, looking at the way the car's handling for you and the future of the race, do you think you're going to have a good chance to push up a little farther down the run once everyone stretches out?
Yeah, I'm just kind of, you know how I race. I kind of just take my time until the last, like, about 20, 30 laps and kind of just push from there.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see how it turns out. I know we're early in the race, but if you're feeling pretty confident about it, that you can come back. You're in a good spot, too. I definitely will have to see how it all pits, and you'll have some reactionary time when some of the leaders pit. But I know we're going to be going green soon, so I'll go ahead and let you get back to it, man.
Thank you. And thank you, Moose, for everything you do.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it.
Good luck out there.
Thank you.
All right, that was Matt Crockett in the number 10. Always a good guy to talk to. And he might be hiding a Mickey Mouse on there, so if anyone is looking, try and find one, because I haven't been able to find it yet. All right, let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit. All right, pace car's off. Green flag's out. Willie Evernham, quick to the gun. Wesley Fuller trying to follow up behind him. And Andrew Gunther, Joshua Billiter. It looks like Terry Conn is getting held up back there. Kevin Foster right behind him. Coming around the corner. Nick Nickerson also has some speed behind him. We're going to see a most likely 2-3 wide situation between Dalton Drummonds, Kevin Foster, Nick Nickerson, and Terry Condas. These guys are all gunning for position, and lo and behold, behind them, Bryson Clark. We have some fast guys stacked up right now, and this is not going to turn out well. If they can keep it clean, it's going to be good, but it's going to be tough. Dalton Drummonds a little bit. Oh, it looks like he's just trying to find his position around the corner. Nice clean pass. Oh, we got contact. Oh, Nick giving Gunther a little bit of bump, and then also that ricocheting and catching Drummonds there. Oh, man. Let's get over to that caution report and find out what happened exactly. We'll get a little closer. All right, folks, here we go. Once again, we're going to re-watch this. And there you go. Boom. Contact. Now, honestly, if we go back right now and rewatch that as he goes into that corner, and if we pause it on that impact, no touching between the 4 and the 59. So definitely that's what we call a net code. So right there, what happened is the 85 pushed. Looks like the 59's car model was a little farther up higher than visually being shown. That collided with the 4. That's when to go ahead and send him spinning. And that right there is just a simple iRacing incident. Sucks to see that, but it happens. And we'll get back to the live scene for you guys. I wish I had one of those pens where I could draw, because I was pointing at the screen and then I realized I didn't have any. You guys can't see what I'm pointing at. But hey, I try to inform you guys. Keep you in the loop. That's all that matters. If you know what I know, should make for a good race. If you know more than me, even better. All right, I'm not going to bring him in the booth. I really want to, but Joshua Billiter, the number 3, look at that. In 3rd place right now and holding strong. I'm rooting for you, Josh. Come on, man. You've been practicing and you've been getting better. But I'm not going to pull you in the booth and give you the broadcaster's curse. Not going to do it. I'm going to watch you from a distance. Fingers crossed. Wishing and praying that it's going to work. But Willie Evernham having a strong lead. Wesley Fuller right behind him. Andrew Gunther riding in 4th. Nick Nickerson in 5th. God, man, that's such a heavy lineup behind you. You have Nick Nickerson, Bryson Clark, Carl Handwerk, Kevin Foster, and a couple of the other drivers all just sitting in the mid-pack. That's a lot of heat. Both Willie Evernham, Wesley Fuller, and Joshua Billiter have been wanting to prove themselves up the front. I know Wesley's been close to first place. He's been on the podium before, but you know, it's one of those things where Bristol, anything can happen. And as long as these guys can stay ahead of everyone else, they should be able to maintain that lead. But it's going to be tough. I won't lie to you. This is it. Pace car should be dropping off. Willie with a little bit of a brake check there. CJ Winslow catching up. We're going to go ahead and ride along with Josh Billiter on this restart, though. Go into that roll bar so you guys get that in-cockpit view. Thank you, GoPro, for this camera. Well, folks, here we go. Green flag out. CJ Winslow on the inside. Willie Evernham, Wesley Fuller, and Joshua Billiter going for it. You can see sparks flying off of Wesley Fuller right now as he tries to run the low line. Right behind Joshua Billiter, we have quite a big pack. We're going to have to zoom out and catch that because I want to see those guys race. Bryson Clark, Carl Handwerk, Andrew Gunther, and Nick Nickerson. Both Bryson and Carl taking the outside lane, and the caution is out. We are under caution one more time. Let's find out what happened with a critical hit Bachelor's caution report. Oh boy. And here we go, folks. Contact Anthony Keysweater. Oh, scoops up Bill Harkins. Let's get that one more time. We now know it's Anthony Keysweater that was spinning. And there we go. We're going to go ahead and ride along with him. On the outside, drops down. Slaps the wall. Oh, skips up. Terry Condas with a good dodge. And Bill Harkins with nowhere to go. Well, folks, sometimes it does not pay to trade paint with other people. And that's one of those times. So, with that being said, that was a critical hit Bachelor's caution report. Let's get back to the live scene. Up in front, Willie Evernham. Still Wesley Fuller riding in second. Joshua Billiter in third. Bryson Clark. Oh, we have pits. We have some drivers hitting the pits. And the field has been re-racked. Wesley Fuller, Anthony Keyswetter, Bryson Clark, Matt Crockett, Eric Andrews, Kevin Foster, Nick Nickerson, and Carl Handwerk. Dylan McDonald running in 8th, Brock Varys in 9th, Willie Evernham in 10th, back out in the pits. Back out of the pits. Oh, nope, Terry Connor's going to snag that spot. Willie's still in the pits. These cars are something else. I love them. I wish I had more seat time in them, but they are a blast. There's something to be said about these 87s. No power steering. I can't preach it more. I can't preach it enough. No power steering mixed with full force feedback, or not full force feedback, but high force feedback on say like not a Fanatec wheel, but definitely some of the Logitech and Thrustmasters. It feels good. It feels really good. I don't know how it feels on a Fanatec. I'd really love to try it, and also maybe a SimCube just to see what a direct drive would feel like. I bet you these things are awesome, and you have to really muscle the corner like you would in a real muscle car with no power steering. But at least you get to have some of that real car feel transfer over for, you know, into the Thrustmaster and Logitech set because they're so tough to drive. I think it's the amount of feeling you get back from the road and from the steering into those racing wheels with these 87 cars it's awesome. I can't say enough. It's cool. If you have a family member or someone that does this and you have a chance to sit down and just take some laps, try the 87s, try the Skip Barbers. Another good car to kind of just run around in is do a street stock on a dirt oval or on an asphalt oval. Those are definitely some really good cars for beginners just to mess around on. And enough of me. Let's get back to the race. Wesley Fuller with the lead, starting off strong. Bryson Clark right behind him. .47 laps in. And Bryson doing well out there. All right, back to the battle at hand. The three amigos, Kevin Foster, Nick Nickerson, and Carl Handwerk. These guys have been in more bouts than probably any other driver out on the track. And right now, they are they are 5, 6, and 7. Carl Handwerk, Nick Nickerson going toe-to-toe right now. And then in front of him, Eric Andrews, another classic core driver, leading in front of him. Kevin Foster not being able to catch up. Once again, you know, short track really isn't Kevin's forte, but he's been getting better at it. So I wouldn't count him out now. Oh, wow, look at that. Kevin Foster having to hit the brakes just a little bit as he goes sideways into that corner. That's going to open up a window for Nick Nickerson. Carl Handwerk able to get around him. Now we have Eric Andrews, Matt Crockett right in front of Carl Handwerk. Oh, he tries to go in. Eric Andrews swings up a little bit, has to check himself, and the caution is out. Looks like we had an accident in the back of the field. Let's go ahead and jump over to our critical hit pass lures caution report. All right, here we go. Terry Connas, Willie Evernham. Looks like Willie. Oh, a little bit of a double trouble there. Terry Connas slapping the wall, and Willie Evernham also touching up. Oh, man, and they caught Dalton Drummond there. Hopefully he did not take too much damage to his car, but that was a direct contact T-bone incident there. Just hit him hard. No room to stop. That's a bummer. Well, folks, that was our critical hit pass source caution report. Hate to bring it to you now, but it happens. We are back to the live scene, and we are about 10 laps away from the halfway point, give or take. This is a very fast track, and it's awesome. That's all I can say. It's rough, but these guys are doing a good job. We've only had, what, 3-4 cautions out of 50 laps? That's more than 10 laps of caution. I'd honestly, a lot of people on Bristol every 5 laps. And Matt Crockett finding his way up to the first place right now. Halfway through the race, or close to halfway through the race. Eric Andrews, Carl Handwerk, Andrew Gunther, Joshua Billiter riding in behind him. CJ Winslow a lap behind, but still trying to work it back. Hopefully they're able to get it back under caution. But I believe the 87 series didn't have as many wave arounds and lucky dog passes. You do get a start up in the front, side by side with the leader if you're a lap down, but you have to battle the leader. It's tough. For this restart, we're actually going to jump on with Carl Handwerk in the number 18. Pace car's off. Matt Crockett on the gun. Eric Andrews not letting up. Getting around him. Look at him go. Can Carl Handwerk also back up and get in there? Oh, yep. He's able to get to the side of Matt Crockett. Come on, Matt. Hold in there tight. You can keep up with him, man. Carl Handwerk wanting to run down Eric Andrews. Does not want to let him get away from this. Throwing laps on drivers is something that's going to happen. And we have quite a big of a pilot back here. Looks like Andrew Gunther, Dalton Drummonds, Bryson Clark, Willie Evernham, and Joshua Billiter. 5 cars that are all gunning for position right now. Matt Crockett having to defend his third place right now against Dalton Drummonds, who's been able to lead a little bit and chase down the first place guy, so he's got some speed behind him, and he's around him. Bryson Clark getting into the side of Matt Crockett there. Little bit of a bump. Oh, and someone joins the party. Nick Nickerson finding his invitation in his mailbox. He has arrived. Oh, Matt Crockett getting into the side of Andrew Gunther, and he's pulling down. Oh, man. That right there was tough. Let's go back to a critical hit bachelor's caution report and get a little closer to that action. Oh, man. Rewatching it does not make me feel any better. All right, here we go, folks. So, honestly, I think Matt got a little nervous, and I think Gunther caught the back end of his panel, but we'll see what happens. So Willie gets close. He moves up and catches Gunther, and boom, spin a Rooney. There goes the field. Oof. That definitely was a racing incident. No one's real fault there. Matt was really stuck between 2 drivers and had nowhere to go. He tried to make some space, and it didn't turn out his way. Don't take it too hard to heart, man. It happens out there. All right, folks, we're back to the live scene. We are at the halfway point. And it has been a tough run for some of the drivers out there. It's scary when you have 5 guys behind you that are all a little bit faster and they're gunning for position. It's tough. And it's a little bit on the drivers themselves too. You know, hey, you looks like you're going to start creating a 3-wide situation. Maybe lift off a little bit. Let Bryson Clark or one of the other drivers get around them, and then set up another pass. You know, that's where patience comes into play. I know this is a fast track. I'm not blaming anyone for that one. That one honestly was just a bad situation overall. But you know, sometimes as a driver, you got to play heads up. You got to realize that, you know, you're pushing for a spot. You got 2 guys to your left. Maybe I need to lift a little bit and you know, find a better opportunity. But they were a big pack, so I wouldn't blame them for that. That happens. All right, folks, a little bit of a selfless promotion while we're on this caution. Please, if you are new to the stream or if you're just checking it out, please subscribe. We have a lot of racing action. This week we have 5 races that we're going to be bringing to you every night all the way up till Thursday. So Sunday through Thursday. We've already done Sunday. Now it's Monday. And if you're not new, get some more people to subscribe. Get some people to tune in. You know, what we're trying to do is a little bit different. I want to bring to you guys a little bit different of a racing experience. You know, it's one thing watching pros race on iRacing and stuff like that, where they're all super professional. Luckily, we have the Core Premier Series, which is a hat trick. It's definitely different. We have the Vintage Cup Series, which is a lot of drivers, you know, taking the 87 cars around, which they enjoy. Let's bring a little bit of what we get out at the track to sim racing. I know we can do it. It hasn't fully taken away. I know NASCAR had a rough run with it, but I think they did it wrong. Honestly, yeah. Challenge me, I dare you. No, but in all honesty, I think NASCAR just went after the situation the wrong way. They put in commentators that thought lightly of iRacing, didn't know much about it, other than basic talking points they were given. And that's tough. You know, this league and this broadcast is done by, well, I'm not too much of a racer, but I rely heavily on the feedback I get from a lot of the drivers. And I'm okay for being corrected. Want to correct me? I do it. And here we go, folks. Let's go green. All right, Carl Handwerk up in the lead, but right behind him, Eric Andrews, Willie Evernham, Joshua Billett. Looks like Donald Drummond is a lap behind. Joshua Billett able to get around the number 34, Anthony Keysweater, and Bryson Clark towing in right behind him. This is not an easy... Oh, Dalton Drummond's pushing against Carl Handwerk, not wanting to lose a lap. Eric Andrews towing in. Also, they're going to go side by side. Dalton very confident about his speed. Willie Evernham also coming in hot behind those guys. Let's zoom out a little bit so you get... Oh, contact. 3 wide almost. Eric queuing up on what's about to happen on the track, backing off on that. Smart move by Eric there. Don't know if that was intentional, but I'll give him that. Looks like Willie Evernham closing in behind Carl Handwerk, and a little bit of a bump. Bryson Clark also getting into the action. These guys are relentless. Carl, I would not want to be in your situation right now. That is a tough run to make. And it looks like Willie Evernham diving down to the inside, looking for that pass on Carl Handwerk. Can he complete it? Bryson Clark also wanting to go for it. Dalton Drummond's with some speed behind him. And Willie has gotten away. Oh, he's going sideways. He recovers it. But look at that speed. It's gone now. Eric Andrews, Carl Handwerk, and the caution is out. Oh, man. Such a good fight up in front. Those guys, all 5 drivers going toe-to-toe, back and forth. Let's get over to that caution report and find out what happened. But, wow. That was awesome. Hats off to those guys. That was some very tight driving out on the track. All right, here we go, folks. Terry Khan is driving behind Randy Post. Oh, Anthony Keysweater hooks into him. Oh, ping pong around. That's a bummer. Another basic racing incident. He should have doored off of him, but instead it just grabbed him like a magnet, spun him around. Man, that's tough. One might say that's a bummer. But hey, that was a critical hit pass towards caution report. So let's get back to the live scene. But yeah, back to my original rant. I honestly, you know, I don't mind being corrected by a lot of the drivers out here, and I appreciate when they give input. It helps out a lot. It helps improve my broadcast quality and what I can bring to you viewers. But that's the thing. I don't think NASCAR did it right. I think they could do it better. Hell, I think I could do it better. Give me a chance. Come on, NASCAR. But in all reality, I think these guys have what it takes to put on a really good show. And we've been at it for almost a full year, and we've been improving every single day. So we'll see what happens in a couple years. But I have high hopes for the Core Racing League and for a lot of the other leagues like Irish Short Course and some of the other ones that I broadcast. So we'll just see what happens. You know, I think sim racing will make a comeback. It'll find the right kind of audience. It's definitely can appeal to car enthusiasts, but I think people need to understand like the technical difficulties and everything that goes behind becoming being a sim racer, because you have to be good with understanding a car and also good at understanding electronics and computers. You know, at least basic concepts. You don't have to be a whiz at it, but definitely got to understand it a little bit and get it going. So it takes a little bit of know-how. But back to the race. Willie Evernham up in first place right now. Bryson Clark right behind him in second. Eric Andrews in third. Nick Nickerson in fifth. Carl Handwerk. Oh, sorry, we missed fourth. Wesley Fuller in fourth. Nick Nickerson in fifth. Carl Handwerk in sixth. Joshua Billiter riding in seventh. Kevin Foster in eighth. 8 for 8. Dylan McDonald running in the ninth right now. Brock Veras in 10th, and that's going to round out our top 10 right now. This is it. Bryson Clark with the jump. Not letting Willie Evernham get around, trying to get on the inside of him. Side by side, Bryson Clark challenging Willie Evernham on the first lap. Red versus blue, who's going to win? Willie pulling away from him, but Bryson still has the inside, and that is going to be his downfall, hopefully, if he can keep that going. Nope, Willie's definitely good at... That's one thing. Willie Evernham, I've always seen him ride the outside line, and he's comfortable out there and fast. And you can just see right there, able to stay ahead of Bryson Clark when usually the outside line is going to be your slowest. But if you have the ability to keep it going clean and stay up and keep that traction, you can definitely find some speed up there, and he definitely is. But joining the party is Nick Nickerson, Eric Andrews, Wesley Fuller, and Carl Handwerk. What a run. Nick Nickerson posing a threat against both Willie Evernham and Bryson Clark right now. Too wide, staying that way for a couple laps. Nick is trying to get into that fight, though. He wants to maybe put some pressure against Bryson Clark and get around him. Carl Handwerk now joining the fray. Looks like Bryson losing position to Nick Nickerson. Nick Nickerson pushing up to Willie Evernham. Carl Handwerk getting into the side of Bryson Clark. Trading a little bit of paint there. Nick Nickerson going sideways. Can he recover it? What a recover by Nick Nickerson coming out of turn 4. Contact into the wall by Willie Evernham. Taking the outside view. Carl Handwerk right behind him. Or right next to him. Willie having a hard time now driving that upside line, making some more contact with the wall. Him and the wall becoming best friends. Nick and Carl still going at it. But I see a battle of brewing. Joshua Billiter, Eric Andrews, and Wesley Fuller. These three drivers have been going at it. Kevin Foster right behind them. Same thing with Randy Post. Josh finding an opening, getting around Wesley Fuller. He's going to line himself up on Eric Andrews now. Josh now pushing to the inside of Eric Andrews. Kevin Foster following up right behind him. Joshua Billiter trying to keep the line clean. Ooh, looks like he had to lift a little bit in that corner. That's going to go ahead and pass down a blockage. Up in front, checking with the leaders. Nick Nickerson, Carl Handwerk running away from the field. Willie Evernham and Bryson Clark dueling it out. Dalton Drummond's trying to get his spot back, but oh man, he's got a long way to go now that he's got Carl Handwerk and Nick Nickerson trying to get away from the pack. He's got the speed though. He really does. Dylan McDonald driving alone right now. Randy Post putting some pressure on Eric Andrews. Kevin Foster trying to stay in tow with him. Randy taking the inside. Can he get around him? Neck and neck coming into turn 3 and 4. Kevin Foster, Joshua Billiter not wanting to give up at all, even though we're going to have a little bit, almost contact between Eric Andrews and Randy Post. And the caution is out. Let's get over to that critical at best Lures caution report and find out what happened. All right, here we go, folks. Following the number 11 of Bill Harkins. Comes up too high, contacts CJ Winslow, gives him a little tap, says hello, and sends him to the wall. No refunds on that one, folks. And let's get back to the live scene. That was our critical at best Lures caution report. All right, a lot of our drivers hitting the pits. All right, folks. Lights are off. 1 to green. And we are 25 laps away. 25 laps away from the finish. This is it. Everyone that pit and came out has made their choice and their decision on what they're going to take and how they're going to handle the situation. The lineup is Nick Nickerson, Carl Handwerk, Willie Evernham, Bryson Clark, Dylan McDonald, Kevin Foster, Eric Andrews, Randy Post, Wesley Fuller, Joshua Billiter, and that is our top 10. Let's get ready for that restart. Pace cars off. And we are green with 25 laps to go. Nick Nickerson with a great launch up in front. Carl Hammer trying to toe in behind him. Willie Evernham doing the same thing. Nick Nickerson trying to keep that dominating lead. Bryson Clark coming in to challenge Willie Evernham right now. Willie getting a little loose. Can he recover it? Bryson Clark able to get around him. Now he's got right in front of his sights Carl Handwerk in the number 18. As you can see, these cars are going sideways as they come around that corner. Back end definitely kicking out. A lot of these guys having to do some counter steering and correcting themselves. But the battle up front has begun. 20 laps to go. Nick Nickerson, Carl Handwerk, toe-to-toe right now. Is Carl Handwerk just going to ride behind Nick Nickerson, wait for the last minute to make his move, and kind of just throw it all into one pass? Or is he going to try and pass him earlier in this section and then try and play some defense against him? That's going to be a tough choice. Carl Handwerk getting a little loose right there. Wonder what's going on. Possibly setting up a run, but I don't know. That looked a little sketchy coming across that finish line. And Bryson Clark is here to capitalize on the situation. Mistakes were made, but that's fine. I'm here. Let me get ahead of you, man. Don't worry about it. We have lap traffic now. Bill Harkin staying low. Carl Handwerk and Bryson Clark going around the outside. Nick Nickerson making a pass around CJ Winslow. Bryson Clark on the tail of Carl Handwerk right now. Not looking to give him a bump, but definitely looking for his position. Riding along with Bryson Clark in the number 73. 10 laps to go. He has the number 18 of Handwerk in his sights. Since the beginning of Season 1 of Core, Bryson Clark and Carl Handwerk have been going toe-to-toe for a lot of the races. And it's come down to it again. Let's zoom out a little bit, check the rest of the pack. Kevin Foster, Dylan McDonald working his way up. Randy Post, Wesley Fuller, Eric Andrews, and Joshua Billiter. Looks like Anthony Keysweater in the fray there. All right, that's it. 5 laps to go. Gloves are off. Let's see what these drivers can do. Carl Handwerk now having to play some defense. Oh, and the caution is out. That's going to drop us with 2 laps to go for a green-white checker, or close to a green-white checkered. Oh boy, and that looks like Andrew Gunther is out of the runnings now. That's a bummer. All right, with that replay, Andrew Gunther slapping the wall on the exit of turn 4, tries to recover it. Oh, his front left tire was lifted off the ground as he was trying to counter steer. Oh man, that sucks. I hate to see that. Andrew Gunther doing a good job out there, but I definitely think he might be out of the race now. Well, folks, sad to say, but that was a critical hit Bachelor's caution report, and we're going to be dropping it off. 2 to go. It's going to be pretty much a green-white checker, or it's going to be a green-white checker finish. And it's going to be a close one for a lot of these drivers. But now this is the opportunity Carl Handwerk and Bryson Clark needed. I know Nick Nickerson had a good start, but can he do it twice? Will Carl and Bryson queue up on the start and trying to keep that gap closed, or are they gonna have to run him down again? This is when things go awry in these last 2 laps. Lights are not off. We might be finishing under caution or with a 1-lap run. Final lap. Oh, what a bummer. I believe we are going to be finishing under caution tonight. And here we go, folks. Our finishing lineup for tonight is going to be Nick Nickerson, Carl Handwerk, Bryson Clark in our top 3. What a run by a lot of those drivers out there. I wish they would have had a green flag finish. I know they wanted that, but it happens. Congratulations to Nick Nickerson getting up ahead of them, dominating that short track run. He definitely had the speed to drive up the front, and he made it work. And the carnage ensues as everyone celebrates the finish of the gladiatorial arena of Bristol. Many were beaten and battered, bloody oil everywhere. But hey, they all survived. A little bit of a demo derby to finish off the night. Congratulations to everyone out there. That's a tough run. All right, so our finishing order is going to be first place, Nick Nickerson. Second place, Carl Handwerk. Third place, Bryson Clark once more. Fourth, going to Willie Evernham. Fifth, going to Dylan McDonald. Sixth, going to Kevin Foster. Seventh, to Randy Post. Eighth, to Wesley Fuller. Ninth, to Eric Andrews. And 10th, to Joshua Billiter. All right, let's get these guys in the booth. Ladies and gentlemen, I have our third place finisher. That's going to be the number 73 of Bryson Clark. Bryson, what a run. You, like some of the other drivers, have driven up the field almost 3 or 4 times. Definitely had some great battles going on. I honestly wish we would have had a green flag run to the finish. Between you and Carl, you guys were having a great back and forth. And I really wanted to see what was going to happen between that.
Yeah, it was going to be fun. I got into the back of him a little bit early. I think it was like 10 to go. I didn't need to there. I was trying to save that for about 2 laps to go.
Yeah.
And I did it too early, and then I had to back off a little bit. So I don't know if I would have caught him in the end, but it was kind of my goal. And then, just a little early, and unfortunately, the caution.
Yeah, I know. It happens. I was hoping you guys maybe get a 2-lap run, but it looks like it just carried it all the way through. But overall, a great race. I think we did really well out there. I know you and a couple of the drivers really did a good job keeping it clean, and having to drive around other people. Very, very few, or it's not very often I get to see drivers pretty much going to almost 3 wide around some of those corners and pretty much overtaking each other and passing around cleanly without touching or dooring or anything like that. A lot of clean passes around the corners and out of the corners, which is really honestly pretty rare for Bristol.
Yeah, it was quite surprising. There was a couple times where I was debating on forcing it 3 wide, but cooler heads prevailed because they still had like 70 laps to go. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to back out of this for now. Let these guys race.
Yeah, probably a good choice, but I think we might have been able to pull it off on some of those corners. But overall, great race by you there. Do you have anyone you want to shout out?
Yep. Thank you for broadcasting it. Love watching your broadcast after the race. It's fun to see what all shenanigans happens. Hopefully you don't see practice because it's a lot of shenanigans there. And then Carl for putting on the league, and then all the guys. It was actually a lot better of a race than I thought it was going to be, especially these cars at Bristol.
Yeah, I was thinking it was going to be pretty tough too, but I think they have a pretty good suspension, and it seems to handle pretty well. I know Nick stepped out pretty badly. I think it was like 20 laps to go, and he was coming out a corner, and you just saw him like go sideways, and he was able to recover it. So definitely I think these 87 cars do counter steering really well, just like the Skip Barbers. You can kind of recover if you lift and just redirect, and you get lucky a little bit, but I think these are very manageable cars, and they did pretty well.
Yeah, no, you should go back and watch some of Willie's turns.
No, I saw those.
Scared the hell out of me.
I saw those. No, he did a good job out there too, but definitely him and the wall became best friends towards the end.
Yeah, they did. I was behind him, and I was like, oh, okay, where are you going?
But other than that, man, great job out there. I can't wait to see you race next week. I know I think we're hitting another short track, so it's another rough one, but it's fun. I enjoy short track, even though sometimes they bring out the cautions. They're always a fun race. Looks like we are going to be hitting Martinsville. So yeah, that's gonna be a fun race.
Yeah, that'll be fun, especially in cars that have no brakes.
Exactly. So man, I hope you have a good night. I hope you had a good race tonight. I think third place is definitely a great finish, and I'll see you next week.
Yep, I'll take it. Thanks, man.
You got it. Ladies and gentlemen, our second place finisher, the number 18, Carl Handwerk. Welcome to the booth. Wow.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
What a race. I honestly thought Bristol was going to be worse. I will not lie. I was expecting to bust out the popcorn and chat away for hours. But honestly, a really great race. I think everyone stepped up and really showed what they can do. And not just you guys up in the front, but just a quick shout out to everyone else out there. Joshua Billiter, Wesley Fuller, even some of the guys that were spinning out there, they did a really good job for most of the race. And you guys, oh my gosh, Nick Nickerson, Carl Handwerk, Bryson Clark, even Kevin Foster up there, Eric Andrews, Willie, you guys were weaving and dodging between people. It was awesome. I was expecting to see you guys go 3 wide a couple times.
Well, I mean, listen, not to kind of toot everybody's horn here, but we do have a solid group of guys in here. I mean, we really do, and it's just going to take some time driving around everybody and learning everybody's kind of ins and outs, how they like to drive, things like that, and I think you kind of see it coming a little bit to fruition in this race here.
Oh, definitely.
For how people are going to handle the corners, how they're going to handle these cars, everything like that, and yeah, I mean, you kind of nailed it with wow. That's kind of how the race was. I mean, it really was fun. I mean, like I said to the guys in there, we definitely had our share of cautions here and there, but it never felt like it really drug,
No, you had more than 10 laps in between a caution almost every time. And usually the way I judge a short track is 5 laps caution. It's usually how short tracks go, especially
these cars. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, if you can make it more than 10 laps without hitting a caution, you're talking about really good runs coming out of a short track race.
Yeah, no, and when we did have the green flag laps, it was just good hard racing all the way through. I mean, there were definitely times that I know I could have probably sent it 3 wide, but it comes back to kind of what we talked about last night. Like, just it's not worth it.
It's not the time.
Like, it could get you 2 positions right at once, but for what? You're just putting 2 other people in a awkward predicament, and it's not kind of what we really do here, or at least what I want us to do in here. So that's why I don't think he's seen the 3 wide. I think guys kind of tighten up a little bit and drove a lot smarter, and it came out to, I think, a really good race.
Yeah, we had one small instance of it getting close to a 3 wide. That was with the Andrew Gunther being spun, but that was a little bit of almost going 3 wide in an iRacing incident or a netcode incident. So it was not much you could do about it. He was stuck between 2 cars, and both were. I don't think the guy on the outside or the guy on the inside really could see the other person on the other side of Andrew Gunther, and they were trying to fight for position, and he had nowhere to go. So it happens. But other than that, dude, second place, you well deserve it. I know you're trying to run down Nick Nickerson, and you guys had a really good bout about midway through the race, and then he went away after that. But is there anything you would have done differently looking at the race to catch up to him?
I mean, I probably could have at least chanced it with 2 tires on the last pit stop, because it's really hard to pass when you're kind of equal, like me and Nick and even Bryson. You seen Bryson might have been even a little bit faster than me there at the end, but
yeah,
it was really tough to pass, and I kind of kept blocking that high line, because getting around on the bottom after you get 5-10 laps in on these tires was almost impossible. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what Nick was doing too. He was kind of protecting that middle line, so I could get runs on him, and I close in on him, and then I'd try something to get even closer, and then he'd pull away, and then I have to reel him back in, and then just kind of a cat and mouse going back and forth. But to get up close to him and pass him, it was going to be tough. So either way, I mean, he clearly drove a good race, and he definitely deserved the win.
I would agree with you on that. And I'm still in awe, honestly, of this race. This is probably one of the best Bristol races I've seen in a long time. I won't lie, and it's awesome.
Yeah, and what a lot of guys are worried about is, either getting 3 wide and it getting crazy, or kind of the exact opposite of getting strung out and you can't pass anybody. And I don't think we really had either.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I think it was racy the entire race.
I think so too. Even when you guys were stringing out just a little bit, you still had guys that were battling out for position. I don't think anyone was maybe a couple drivers were in between, but you still had packs of 3 running around the whole track, and you had a total of 19 drivers, I believe, out in the track. So, you're talking about maybe 5 guys driving by themselves, and then the rest were all kind of just fighting for position back and forth. It was pretty awesome. Never a dull moment for me. Usually with these tracks, everyone strings out and then it's like leapfrog. But no, I was always watching a pack of 5 guys fight it, whether it was in 5th place all the way down to 10th, or it was 7th to 12th, like just everywhere. You guys were going back and forth, and it was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to see what would have happened if we got strung out a little bit and we caught a little bit more lap traffic, just to kind of see how maybe leaders would handle lap traffic that was roughly on par with them on speed.
Mm-hmm.
So that may have been the one thing that I kind of missed in this one. But other than that, yeah, I mean, everybody drove good. It's we had 12 guys to finish on the lead lap out of 19, and I don't think anybody wrecked out. So
No.
You got that, and nobody got DQ'd either. You had a couple guys with 18, so they were damn close, but
you're on the bubble.
But no, I mean it's Bristol. You're gonna get bumps and scrapes out there. I mean, Bryson and Kevin looked like they drove a clean race, and those were the only guys. Actually, Alan Castle did too.
Bryson didn't have any incidents. Same thing with Kevin Foster and
Alan Castle.
Yeah.
Yep.
But someone I want to point out, Dalton Drummonds. I believe lap 50. He was racing you, trying to prevent you from keeping him under that under a lap.
Well, to be completely honest, we were going back and forth because he thought I was going to come in and he was going to get the wave around and get his lap back. So he was kind of going at me a little bit. And
oh yeah,
I was joking. That's why I kind of faked out the next time around there. But no, once we got going and he got aside of me, I'm like,
he's got speed.
Well, he does, but I was also kind of using him a little bit because I was trying to save my tires a bit, and I figured, okay, he'll block the low line for me, and
okay, yeah,
I'll
whatever.
just come around high,
Uh-huh.
So I'll use him as much as I can. So I appreciate the little buffer that I got.
Well, whether or not I'd keep an eye out on him. He's definitely got some speed, and he's going to be challenging you guys pretty soon.
Definitely.
All right, man. Great job tonight. Can't wait to see you guys race on Sunday. And so with that, what a great ending to Monday. And let me bring Nick Nickerson in here. But I hope you have a good night, and I'll talk to you later.
Good. Thanks to everybody out there.
You got it. All right, folks. Now to bring in the number 85 of Nick Nickerson. He is in the booth with us. Nick, what a run tonight.
Yeah, man. That was something special.
Yeah, the gods were smiling upon us. The gladiatorial arena was not too bloody, but definitely had some blood. But oil and metal all over the place. But no, it was a really good race. We did have some heavy accidents, but I think everyone handled it really well. God, I said it again. It pretty much like a lot of the core original guys. Oh my gosh, you guys were going five of you were gunning for a position, and it was insane. Bryson said he was thinking about going 3 wide, but he's like, I'll just wait on it. Same thing with Carl.
Yeah.
I know Kevin, even Eric Andrews, a couple of the other drivers. You guys all had opportunities to really push the envelope, but instead decided to play it smart, and you still found ways to pass, which is what you want to see. And great job. That's all I can say. It was awesome.
And I'll say the allure of going 3 wide was just and it was so hard to control yourself sometimes. You see one guy way up in the wall, one guy down in the bottom. You're like, man, I can just go right through the middle. But on exit, it's going to be a disaster.
It's just going to be a sandwich.
It's a real game of kind of how you can control your own emotions. Because man, it was very difficult. Running up the pack a couple times and having those 3 wide situations, but All in all, man, that's got to be the best Bristol race I've ever seen.
No, that's what
in
I
all
said.
of my 10 years.
I've never seen a Bristol race like this. Most of the time, it's either there's not too many cautions on Bristol, but the pack is so strung out that it's kind of boring, and you get like a little bit of leapfrog, or there's so many cautions that it's people spinning out like every single lap. It's just they can't handle their stuff. I literally was hopping around the track finding packs of 5 and 3 guys gunning for position the whole time. Like there wasn't even a section of like, oh hey, no one's really fighting for position. I'd like zoom out and be like, oh look, there's that group over there, fighting for what they can get. You had like 5 guys spread out, but that was about it.
Yeah, no, it was insane, man. There's a couple times I started in the back, from pitting or whatever reason.
Yeah.
And it was just complete chaos back there. But everybody was able to make every single corner clean. There's a couple bumps and people scraping the walls or whatever, but there was no cars flying off into the grandstands or nothing. It was just everybody was running very smart. And it's just a testament of people really starting to understand these cars, and they're just getting better as sim drivers.
Yeah, and you guys are finding everyone's kind of groove and where you guys are comfortable. With also having short track back to back, it helps. We are going to be going to Martinsville, so that's going to be another back to back. But in all reality, I think you guys are going to keep getting better. I can't wait to see the finishing or the finale of this vintage series, because I think we're going to see some really good racing once we cross to the halfway point. Because right now I saw some really good racing tonight, but I think that's just the it's not even the tip of the iceberg. We're
doing this all the way to the end of the year.
Yeah, there's so much coming down the road that you guys are going to be getting better and better. And I know there's a lot of drivers out there that are actually catching up to you guys. They're getting faster. So
absolutely.
I mentioned Dalton Drummonds, a couple other guys, Joshua Billiter, Wesley Fuller did a great job out there. And to mention, where was he? I think he had a win, Andrew Gunther. He didn't finish too well tonight, but fast guy. But dude, you had a great race.
I will have to say about Billiter, man, I was battling through the back of the pack coming up, and I think I was in 6th place, and the first 5 guys were like probably a quarter of a track ahead of me, and there on the back of it was Billiter holding his own place on the back of a lead pack in 5th place.
No,
that was awesome to see.
Yeah, no. Every time I see him up in the lead pack, dude, I got a big smile on my face. It's like watching Paul Butler up there. It's just, you're like, come on, dude, you can do it. I believe in you.
Yeah, showing that he's getting better for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely in I guess a lack of better terms, earning his wings. And proving he can fly out there, and all you guys are getting better. It's awesome. I honestly can't wait to see what happens when we go all the way into 2021. I think we're going to have a really great field of drivers once this year's finished.
Absolutely. And I guess hats off to Carl. We had a couple moments there, and we were able to run side by side pretty dang hard. I thought I was running pretty hard, so it's always fun to race at a track like this, very clean. It's something you don't get very often in iRacing.
Yeah.
It's nice to finally dethrone him after so many races,
Oh man. But no, you did a great job. You held the lead, had great restarts, and like Carl said, you drove that mid to low line, which is where you want to be. You don't want to be too low where you're burning yourself down, but you don't want to leave that door open, and you had it.
Yeah, it was a very weird dynamic with this race. Not to make this too long, but like that bottom lane was like that mid to bottom lane was just like dynamite for only the first 5 laps. And then like the next 5 to 10, you weren't sure if you want to take the high line or like the mid line. And it was just so stressful trying to figure these tires out on those long stretches, because we only got a couple of them.
Well, speaking of someone that kind of figured that out, Willie Evernham, he had some really fast runs on the outside line after those first 5 laps. Like he was running you guys down.
That's right. He was on fire there for a while.
Yeah. So that's, there's that. Bristol usually has like a 1 line, but I think, from watching you guys drive, there's definitely a 3-line race out there. You could definitely trying to find some speed, but it is hard to pass. So that's that puts the nail in the coffin there.
And cool, man. I guess thanks for Willie and Carl for putting this league on. It's a blast, man. I'm just glad that we're going to have something to kind of like progress towards for the rest of this year. You know, it's going to be a long season, a lot of fun. And thank you for putting on the broadcast, man. You do a damn good job.
I try to do it. Hopefully I can bring in some more people to help out eventually. But no, I really enjoy this series, and I think the 87s is a great addition to core, and we'll see how the whole year plays out. But great job, man. Congratulations. That's a good way to end the Monday blues. If there is any.
That's after yesterday.
Right? But overall, man, that was awesome. I can't wait to see you race next week. And till then, I hope you have a good week.
All right, man. Yeah, I'll talk to you soon.
You got it. I'll move you back up to general.
Cool, man. Thanks.
No problem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for tonight. The race is over. The cars are being put away in their trailers. The metal's being picked up. The oil scrubbed up. What a race. It was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. I can't wait for this week is going to be a full week. If anyone doesn't know, we're going back to back with iRacing Short Course on Tuesday and Wednesday. So that's going to finish off their season, and they're going to get ready for the next season. And then for DXR, that's actually moved to Thursday just for this week, and we'll be back on Tuesdays. But we are bringing at you 5 races this week. So it is a full week for me, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So please tune in. Please subscribe. I appreciate the likes and everything out there, especially if you guys are active in the comments. It helps out a lot. Allows me to get a little bit of feedback from everyone out there, since it's just me in the booth. I can at least have some points I can run off of. But other than that, I hope everyone had a good Monday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night if you're going to tune in. Once again, tomorrow night's going to be at 7 p.m. with iRacing Short Course. It's going to be Pro 4s running, I believe, at Wild Horse, and then we'll be at Wild West. So once again, I hope everyone had a good night, and I'll see you guys later.